Copeland, and welcome to Big Sellers. I'm so excited. As I do every week, I've got another amazing, fantastic guest. This man is an international speaker, best-selling author, and one of the top automotive experts when it comes to training salespeople, probably in the world. Damian Boudreaux, nice to meet you, or nice to bring you onto the show, and nice to introduce you to everybody.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You know, and I love your success in an industry and the fact that we're just a couple of years apart in our longevity in the industry.
God, it seems like a long time, doesn't it?
No, I will tell you, I've learned more in the last 3 years than I've learned my whole life, and I've never been more excited about our industry. And this, I'm not educated. I wasn't blessed with logical intellect. So this business created I was
a fashion major.
You're a fashion major? You're at least you're not a beauty school dropout.
That's right.
You're a fashion major?
I was in Dallas, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I like to say that. I was just being funny when, people say, I didn't go to school. I don't have a doctor. I'm like, well, I went to school for fashion. So, I studied the history of polka dots, that's for sure. But life is the greatest school in the world. Absolutely, isn't it?
I'm a PhD. I have a private high school diploma. Which is all you need.
You started out your career in 1983. You were in sales. You were a car salesman. And you did really great.
I started off changing oil. And they taught me to sell in. And I struggled for 3.5 years. I wasn't one of those high achievers who came in and sold 20 the first month. I don't know what I sold, but it wasn't impressive. My dad got me a tab at the local, restaurant, Peking Gardens, and I would go sign the ticket because I couldn't afford to pay for it. And I paid my tab at the end of every week with my paycheck. And that was the beginning. I was a dad of 2 kids, and I just had a desire to do good and wanted to be good and had not been successful at anything. And that was the beginning,
So how did you go from changing oil to selling cars? Did somebody talk you into it?
They gave you that story. They said, you can make $100,000 a year, Lisa. And I had only heard that once before, and that's when I joined Amway, and I sucked at that too.
So you were an Amway salesman too, huh? A car salesman, an Amway salesman?
I tried it all. I drove a truck. When you get in 3 wrecks in 90 days, they fire you from driving the truck.
I actually wrecked 2 demos in 1 week in Dallas. It was during the ice storms, and I was driving one to a sales meeting. I wrecked it, and then like the next Monday, I wrecked it, like driving from one lot to the next. And I thought, good grief, I'm kind of snake bit on driving these cars. But luckily, because they told me a 3rd one, you're fired. But it would have been the end of me.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this: salespeople bump cars all the time. Y'all need to go ahead and be honest about that. Anybody says they've never wrecked a car is a liar.
Right. Especially at the big dealership I was at, because we had, I don't know, God, we have
1,000 vehicles,
200 new cars a month, and we had holding lots all over the city. So a lot of times the salespeople would wreck a car and then just go park it on the lot, and nobody would ever know about it.
Yeah, y'all had 200 conversion vans and Suburbans on the lot. If you don't wreck those, you're a liar.
There was all kinds of stuff going on in those conversion vans back then. Unbelievable. Car sales in the 80s.
That's exactly right. It was different.
So you were in Houston, I know that, and you worked, and were you working a lot in the custom van business?
I got in the custom van business because I had a daughter who was sick, and anytime she would go to the hospital, I would go to the hospital. And so the van companies, after I got really good at selling, I found my magic. They would hire me to just work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and they'd fly me around to different dealerships to work retail on the dealers' lots and train the salespeople how to do walk-arounds. So they would fly me to Dallas. I worked with designer vans and Sherrod and Regency and Custom Craft and what was the name of the Rainbow Vans? Would sit over and what's that?
Explorer vans?
Explorer, I never worked with Explorer. They had their own reps, but I knew all their reps. Jay Clary and them were great.
Oh yeah. And Eddie Took, Eddie Took, and I still semi keep up. So that's kind of funny.
I remember Eddie, right? But
I used to say Eddie took your money. Hopefully he'll watch this.
Oh, that's funny. Yes, so the car business has always helped you. The car business is the great place to evolve to whatever you need to be successful or to feed your family. The challenge is that so often it becomes a trap for salespeople because of the way it's done and the way that we do business in the car business. You don't get successful overnight, and the way they train you to do this business is you become a slave to the front door, waiting for the next up, praying that this one's got good credit. You know, welcome to the dealership. You got to master all the word tracks. And some of us weren't good at that. Some of us are from Louisiana. We don't talk like, you know, people talk around the country, or we just talk from our heart. And one of the things that I truly believe is the challenge with salespeople is you should have the ability to communicate from your heart. And when it comes out of your mouth, it should be you. You shouldn't have had to think about what you had to say, and all of a sudden it comes out different, because people hear that. Your process needs to be like when you're running your hand over a cabinet. If you feel it's gritty, you should question that. If it goes up because you're not in integrity, or down because the customer's out of, not feeling good, you shouldn't do it. You should find a way to make your whole business congruent with your being, your heart.
When did you have this epiphany? When did you transition from van rep, that type of thing, into a speaker, an author, going around the country, training salespeople how to be great?
Yes, stumbled into it. I worked with Regency Conversions for Don Davis. And one day his used car manager, Ron Hoffman, says to all the people, y'all need to learn from him. He sold 100 cars one month. He's a great Boudreaux. Go teach him how you sold. So I take him into the Oldsmobile store, and I'm just bringing a package to Miss Linda, right? And so I bring him into the Oldsmobile store, and I start teaching on the blackboard. That's how old this was. And I'm writing on the blackboard. I'm telling him how to think and how to, be. And about that time, Don Davis opens up the back door and he says, Boudreaux, what are you doing in my Oldsmobile store? I said, I come to drop off a package, and Ron asked me to talk to the salesman. He says, you need to come to my office when you're done. And I said, Donna, am I fired? He said, no, you need to come finish what you're doing. I go in the office, and he says, where did you learn how to teach like that? And I said, I don't know how to teach. I just telling him what I did and how I thought and how customers feel. And he said, well, I want you to teach more of my people. And so I started teaching salespeople, not only at his stores, a couple of his stores, but for Regency all over the country. They would fly me to different markets and teach the van reps and other salespeople.
And for those of you who don't know, some of our younger car professionals or people that have not been in the car business, in the 80s, the custom van business was the wild, wild west in Texas. And I was with the number 1 domestic dealer in the country, which also made him the number 1 conversion van dealer in the country. At least that's what we were told. And
we're up there.
Yes. And my husband was in the in the truck department. So he was a big, big van salesperson. I was up in new cars. So I didn't take any of the glory on selling any of the custom vans. I was selling Vettes, Corvettes and Chevettes, both.
Diesel Chevette with no air.
Yeah. I was in the vet business. But that being said, they were incredibly popular back then. And it was really a big deal to be able to get on the sales team that could sell the custom vans, to get into the truck department and to sell the custom vans, because there was a lot of profit in those vans back in the day. In fact, there were not even window stickers on them. So, people, you could just name a price, and if people would pay it, they would pay it. It was insane. But people could really build those vans the way they wanted them. And we saw some beautiful vans come out of Dallas, Texas, out of all of the carriers that Damian was talking about. So, but it takes a special kind to sell those vans, because it really is, to me, Damian, it was the equivalent of selling, in today's world, would be a custom home. Right? Yeah. You would start with a shell. Now, we had a lot of vans on the lot, but a lot of people wanted to build them. You'd start with a shell, and you'd help them design these vans. And these vans, we were selling a ton of them every month, probably a couple hundred a month, I would assume. I don't know those numbers to be a fact,
No,
but
y'all were really selling a lot. Y'all in classic and,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, that being said, it was quite an art. And so just the fact that, you were the one chosen to go around and teach people how to sell, because, that was a different kind of sale, because it wasn't just, hey, here's the red vet sitting here. Do you want to buy it? It was like, hey, what is it that you can imagine? How are we going to build your dream van? And this was in 1980 something. And those vans got into $30,000, $40,000 and $50,000.
Yeah.
Which is the equivalent today of probably $100,000.
Right.
So it was not an easy sell. I mean, and the best of the best knew how to take a customer and build their dream vehicle. And
exactly right.
It was quite an art. It was quite something to watch and behold, and just see how excited these customers were when they left. So
let me add something to that, Lisa.
Yeah.
One of the first things I learned about helping people with vans is I was no longer selling 2,000 pounds of metal and steel. And I would tell salespeople all the time, you're selling the dreams of where they can go and where they could be and who they can see in this van, whether it be at the Dallas Cowboy football game or the LSU football game or the University of Texas tailgating or going to the national park or having the designer van with the plug-in thing in the back that allowed you to run everything in the van because you could plug it in. Just the amount of dreams it was like selling a Harley where people are crashing 3 credit cards just for the down payment because they really wanted that for their family. The right. Bed in the back and so one of the first things I learned early about selling vans is I wasn't selling a van. I was selling what it could do. And when I train now, I tell salespeople all the time, you're helping people either move away from the problem or move toward a possibility of a dream. Get out of the vehicle selling business. So the reason my high achievers, and I work with a lot of people who sell 40 to 100 cars a month, including Ali, is that they're not in the vehicle selling business. They're in the problem solving business, the possibility building business. So that's why they can have 126 cars is what Ali sold last month, and he had 2 dealer trades. They don't do dealer trades because they're not selling based on what's available. They're selling what's based on possible that solves what I call the PP, the problem of the possibility. And now they're moving to the PP selling business and not the vehicle selling business. The customer says, I want the red one, I want the red one, I want the red one. And you can't get them off the red one. Somebody takes a turn and they buy the blue one because that person asked a question that the customer goes, I could live with that one because it solves my problem or it helps me get to the possibility. So when salespeople are helping customers now, the goal is to ask questions to get their picture to discover what's their PP. And then once they can discover the problem and possibility, helping people becomes about solving, about healing, about helping. It's no longer about using the leverage of dropping the payment $20 or going longer term. It's about, and this is what we can do for you. You'll get the better gas mileage. You'll have the better ride. You'll have better safety. You'll get better performance. You'll get the girl, right?
Yeah, right.
You'll get on the cover of Midlife Crisis magazine. Great news, and that's a mindset shift. That's why my high achievers that I work with, they don't have dealer trades because nothing screws up the zone faster than a dealer trade. And if you're in the zone and you want to get high numbers and high volume and great productivity, you got to know how to help people. And it's not about vehicles. You got to get out of the car business. You got to be in the people business.
And I love that. I used to tell my sales team, we're not in the car business, we're in the people business.
Yeah.
And, I believe it to my very soul because when you delight the people, they're always going to buy something from you. And even if they can't, they're going to send somebody to do that. And, and people, car salespeople have such a bad rap. I mean, to this day, people are like, oh, you were a car dealer. Oh, you sold cars. I'm like, yeah, I'm super proud of it because I always did the right thing. I always took care of my customers. And, just like what you're out teaching. But will you speak to the negative stigma in the automobile industry and why you think it still exists in the year 2018? It's as bad today as it was when we were in 1985.
But it's not bad. It's bad because of what we've made it when it comes to and look, I'm not making dealers wrong, and I'm not saying that the way they do business is bad, because the way they do business works for them. I mean, imagine if you're going to open up hell, you had a car dealership. You have to look at these numbers, Lisa. You have to look at the numbers. 71.9% of people who come to work for you are going to fail the first year. That's national average. 70% of the people are going to make it, and the people that make it, 80% are going to leave and go from dealership to dealership. Grass is greener. There's a shinier shovel. I belong in that brand. They got a better pay plan. My manager went over there. This manager came over here, and they leave. So 71.9 and 80% jump around. And then the number 10. In 1975, the average car, in 1983, when we got in the business, 85 for you, the average car salesman averaged 10.
Okay.
Then we had all this training and all this great technology. And in 1995, the average car salesman sold
12.
10. Mm-hmm. And in 2015, oh my God, we got advertising on Facebook. We've got all new technology. We got more trainers. We got more Facebook Live. We got all this glorious stuff. And the average car salesman sells 10.
12. Oh, I was going to say 12. Yeah.
They sell 10, and there's more competition, there's less profit, there's shorter margins, and the less opportunity to make it. And that's what dealers have to look at to build their business. Don't fault them. I honor them. They've got to pay for their bills. They got to support their employees. They got to provide for the community, and they've got to make money. And they do, because they know if all I do is throw $400 a month at advertise, I mean, $400 a person, $400 per person I sell at advertising, I'm going to get people to get 10. Now, if I'm going to spend that much money, I need to train my people to get 10. So every trainer in the country says, okay, boss, we're here for you. Let's go ahead and let's help you get your people. Here's what you need. We teach word tracks. We teach phone. We teach internet. We teach greet. We teach appearance. We teach compliance. We teach F&I. We teach how to do this. And we throw all this content, hiring them, doing the right thing, putting managers in position, and they close 20%.
Right.
Talk to 60, sell 8 to 14 cars. Not going to get to 100, but salespeople who want to make it go, oh, no. I want more. Because they think high achievement. They want to get better. And the trainers say, and the industry says, you can make $100,000 a month. You can sell 30 cars a month. You just got to get good at this shit. You got to get better at word tracks. You got to run your own ads on Facebook. You got to run in the thrifty nickel or penny, whatever it's called. And you got to do this and you got to do that. And you get your own closes. And you got to study this stuff and watch these videos and take these tests. And then if you get really good, you'll close 35%. You'll become a master at transactional selling. So you get 35%, which means you talk to 60, you'll sell 18 to 30, and then you're trapped.
Right.
The only way to make more is to work longer hours, get more opportunities. Now remember, they're telling you, salespeople, that you gotta only do this. You sell somebody on liking you, trusting in you, and believing in you, and they buy from you. No, they 20% buy from you.
What happens to the other 80%? Where are they going?
What's that? Oh, they jumping around. And look at the internet. 4 out of 100 buy. But they jumping around. So the customers, or first of all, this method of business is called transaction. It's what everybody teaches. And it's the reason you can't break Joe Girard's record. It's the reason you can't get 50 without working 6 days a week. Now, all the salesmen I work with, I say, look, if you're going to work in this club, one of the conditions is you have to try to work 5 days a week, get off, as David Said said, you got to be off at 6 o'clock at night to go watch Wheel of Fortune with your wife 3 days a week and work late 2 nights a week. And that's what Ali does. You know, he doesn't work.
Still over. When I interviewed Ali, you know, and I said, well, okay, I mean, you're unbelievable and the whole world's looking at you. You know, you must work 6 days a week, bell to bell. And he goes, no, I work 5 days a week and I work 40 hours a week and I'm trying to work less.
Why do this business? Why do this business if you don't have a life?
Right.
Why do this business if you can't take Saturday off to go watch your children's swim team?
Right.
That's my baby girl. Daddy wants to go watch swim team, but I got to work on Saturdays because it's the dealer's big day. Why do I have to play their game? That's why I don't do business with dealers. That's why I don't let them say, we're going to put every one of our salespeople in your club. No, they ain't in this club. Salespeople who want to be in this club are in this club. They want to get good. They want to learn from each other. There is no welfare in my life. Welfare does not work. Quit throwing money at salespeople saying, please, God, take the test, you get better. No, you ain't going to get better. You're going to get trapped.
Okay, now you said sales club. I love that. Tell us what your sales club is. And what does it take to be a member of your sales club?
Listen. Ali came to me before he got to where he is.
Before he got famous?
I think he was at 90. I think he might have been between 73 and 95. It was that year when he went to the next level. It might have been before 90. And he says, okay, how can I help give back?
What a sweetheart.
And I said, you can teach. So I put him in front of some people. He sucked at teaching. Hated it. He threw the first pitch out at the Detroit Tigers game, and after the pitch, I called him. He says, that was easier than teaching.
Oh. So
then we started doing the interview type process. Oh, now he's good. And we've been working together since 2010, And look, just so salespeople know, when it says how to sell 100 cars a month, this ain't what the book's about. The book's about you getting to your next level, whatever that is. That's all that Ali and I started at. He'd been in the business for 10 years, right?
Right.
Then they closed his store down in 2008, 2010, right? They closed his store down. He goes to Les Stanford. That's one of the dealers, Scott Montgomery, great guy, love him to death, says, come teach my salespeople. So I go into the thing. And on the third row, there's this new guy. And he's sitting there, and at least I swear, I would say stuff, and he'd go. And he's looking at me, shaking, and then he'd write. And about halfway through the seminar, I'm going, man, my shit's good today.
I got the guy in the third row taking notes.
He's right. He's right. No, I can always tell high achievers because they write down stuff.
I write stuff like crazy.
Afterwards, and I talked to him. I introduced him to the salesman I was working with in Nashville who sold 60 cars a month at the time. And he was like, and talked to him. And they talked. And I used to let my high achievers talk to each other because they get so much more. Salespeople, you'll get so much more listening and talking to Ali than you will from me or another bullshit trainer who ain't doing it no more.
Right.
Because he's real life, real
day making it happen.
So that was the start of it. And we started just building this club, and we said, look, let's just take my content and put it into a box, a membership site, and you and I will do some stuff, and then we'll have a monthly webcast, and then I'll have a whole bunch of videos, and then they'll get access to my books, and there'll be a private place for them to go and visit with each other and learn from each other. And so we're just starting it off in the last, say, 14 months. So we got hours and hours of content of Ali and I talking about something like Saturdays is about the CRM. How do you take your CRM salespeople and just weaponize it? Not because you're good at CRM, but because you want to make it to where it's a connection tool for meaningful and personal relationships, not about car business. And so we teach that. That'll be this Saturday. It'd be a great one. Last month was like just on presence with your children, with your significant other, with the next customer. The bullshit. There's so much stuff that I tell salespeople. The end of the month is the dealer's game. It's not your game. Your game is the next person you with. You slow down time, and I got you. Let's figure out what you're looking for. Let's just be right here, okay?
Right.
I got you. We're going to listen. I might not be the guy. This might not be the car place, but I'm gonna listen to you. And I'm not listening to respond, no. Nuh-uh. I'm listening to understand. Word tracks, man. How do they work for the customer? High achievers don't use word tracks because they're not in the transactional game.
Right.
What they are is they're in the relationship game. And the way you get to those numbers of 40 and 50 and 70 and 100 and 90, you're only talking to people who know you. which means that you don't have to sell them on liking you, trust you, or believe you. You don't shake their hand. You give them a hug and you ask them about the 3 kids that you know their name who aren't there right now.
Right.
And you talk. And then
that's what Ali talked about. He really talked about, the sense of community where he is, and, how he goes out and then, versus, spending time doing other things for marketing, because he isn't real big in social media, he told me.
No, we're not.
Selling cars.
Because social media is an attraction for people who don't know you, like you, and trust you.
Right.
They just are curious what you can offer them and get a deal. We're not in that business. We're in the business of only people who know us. We make a joke. They'll send me a thing that I got a triple referral. And for those who don't know what that means, it's sad, because what it means is the customer comes and says, 3 of my friends told me to come see you. Who the hell are you?
Wow. Double
referrals, triple referrals, because the community tells everybody, whatever it is. I'm a Cajun. My community is Cajuns. Thomas Carnival at Fletcher Jones, he just had a birthday, in Newport Beach. His network is the wealthiest people in Orange County. They come in and they see Thomas. They come in his office. He has special coffee for them. It's like boutique style. They love Thomas, right?
Right, but that's how it's supposed to be. That's the way. So take us back to when you and Ali started working together, because one of the things you and I talked about, and you said it a minute ago, is that the dealer can't hire you. You're not there for the dealer. You're there for the salespeople. So the salespeople are paying. They're investing in themselves to join the club. Does anybody ever get kicked out of the club?
Never, because, they are where they are. And understanding that and accepting the fact that some of them have brain damage because they've been doing it a while. Right. And this is a culture shock. One of the reasons that I have so much, I have a website called Auto Success Blueprint. It's 31 videos for newer or struggling salespeople. It's free. It's designed to say, look, here's the dealer business plan. You need to learn that when you start. But you better not live there. You better do this too. And if you do this, what they teach you, and this, what you naturally have inside of you, then you'll be able to get to 40 before everybody else who's fighting to get to 30. I've got people selling 2 years, 2.5 years, who are in the 40s every month.
Which is amazing, by the way, everybody, for those of you who are not in the auto industry. I mean, anything over, well, you guys heard the national average is 12, which I believe. I had a lot of 15 and 20 car salespeople. I mean, few times they went to 30. I don't know that I ever had anybody over 30. We were Fiats though, right?
Yeah, you're incredible, girl. That's ridiculous.
I know. But that being said, a 40, consistent 40, 50, 60, I mean, that's remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable.
Yeah, and working 5 days a week.
Yeah, and working 5 days a week. And at 40 and 50 cars, they're making a 6-figure income. So they're working a corporate job.
Taking 6 weeks a year off to take your children to the national parks.
Okay, well, I have to ask you that. So you said that earlier. Now,
yeah.
How do they get through that with their dealer principals?
Oh, you got to grow your dealer. You can't just go into
you got to raise that dealer right.
Salespeople, don't go change your managers. He don't work for you. She don't work. She works for your dealer. Yeah, you got to find a manager you can work with. You got to carry him along a little bit. You can't just go in there and say we're gonna change the world. They go throw you up against the wall and beat you like a rented mule. Just breathe, okay? Don't change the world overnight. This book right here, this is the book, okay? This is the manuscript that Ali had before he ever got the other one. It's Get Good at Being You so that you can love and care for other people. That's how simple this business is, salespeople. Don't change your managers. They're stuck, and they work for the dealer. You ain't changing them. They got a job to do. 70% are going to fail. 8 out of 10 are going to leave. 10 cars a month is all they want for you, and they got their trainers they've been paying for years to get you there. Those trainers are good. They want you to get more. But understand, salespeople, that there is a brick wall between getting good, selling 30, and all of a sudden breaking out and deals come easy. Because that's what you want. But that means, I ask you all the time, the salespeople, Lisa, you like people? They say, yeah. You want people to love you? They say, yeah. I said, that's the business. You want to know the secret? Love. Just love. Stop time. Quit trying to sell 30 and just help one.
Right, one at a time. And you're present. So that means they are your everything. You don't have your phone. You're not texting. You're not Facebooking. You're not looking for your, I mean, what would make me crazier than anything is if I had a salesperson telling me that, you know what, Lisa, I'm wasting my time with this guy over sitting here at my desk and they're already trying to look for their next step. And I'm like, no, you finish that one. You know, you give that person the time and the attention they need, and I bet they're going to buy something from you, you know, and that's where I think salespeople get just like ADD. It's like if someone doesn't say yes right away, they're done. Like they're ready to just push them out and move on to the next one, especially in a high volume store where you have a lot more opportunities. I mean, I see it all the time.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And this is an incredible business.
They would sell more cars and the dealership would sell more cars if people would do what you're telling them to do. And that, most importantly, I love how you say love them. And I'm a firm believer in that, but it's to be present. It's to listen. I mean, how many things in life do we miss because we're not present?
Yeah, or we're listening to respond. That's the trap of word tracks, is that they say, I'm just looking. You say, looking for car or the truck. You know, not buying today. We make this a hunting day. You got all these programmed responses. Right. And you're not hearing what they're saying.
So what do you say to the salespeople out there that are watching this today? And, you know, their dealers have the online training, you know, from a lot of the big gurus we know. And, you know, and they're being taught these responses. What would you say to them? Should they scrap that?
No.
And start following?
Make them yours.
What do they do?
You make them yours. Quit sounding like a car salesperson. You sound all the same. You sound all the same because you're not making it yours. When you say the words, they should flow out of your mouth like you talk, which means you got to change the words. You got to make the words your words. Early in the business, so across the river in Lake Charles, there was a general manager at the Pontiac GMC store who wanted to hire me. He was my Pee Wee baseball coach. Okay, he had two people who worked for him. One of them is the most powerful person to come out of Lake Charles in the car business, and his name is Mike Porter, and he works at Norm Reeves Honda in Cerritos. Mike Porter, and then the other guy was this trainer who lives in Florida, whose name is Grant Cardone. And Daryl was Grant and Mike's boss, and they studied. I mean, they trained there. And every month he'd come to Peking Gardens, and he'd have lunch with me, and he'd say, all right, tell me what's going on. Well, early on, I had this integrity issue with this thing said, tell the customer they got to put 25% down. And I'm like, they don't have to put 25% down. The last one put 500. They got approved. Why do I lie to customers? Right. And Daryl said, what's the outcome? Well, the outcome is I want down payment. Why? Well, because I help with my gross. It helps put the deal together. There's all the benefits of down payment. He said, so how do you say it differently? And I swear, it probably took an hour for me to come up with something. But as a good coach, he would ask me questions or he would tell me a little story, and I would come to the transformation that I needed. And I came up with the thing that when I'm talking to somebody about down payment, I would look at Lisa and I'd look at the page and I'd say, now, Lisa, y'all weren't wanting to put like $6,000 or $7,000 down, were you? And Lisa would say, oh, no. I said, how much down? And you'd say 1,000. And then you'd say 1,500. And so that's how I asked for down payment. Now, that's an integrity with me. But I made it mine. Salespeople, you need to be creative. You're doing everything you're told to do. And it makes no sense. Go work the service lane. What a bullshit deal. Work the service lane.
I love you.
Have you ever been in the service lane? Korea's safer. North Korea is a safer planet than the service lane is a danger zone. But we send salespeople out there to work. And yeah, there's a few that can. But most of us are going, I ain't going out there. That's crazy. It's nobody happy out there. Work the service lounge.
See, I sent my salespeople, I would personally go out and work the service lane, because
but you're not normal.
In today's world, we have equity mining tools. So I knew that Mr. Jones had, $2,000 or $3,000, $4,000 equity in that car. I knew that before they ever came in for their oil change. And so that to me was one of the best prospecting places. And, and to your point, there's a lot of orphaned customers out there because the turnover is so high. So there's tons of opportunities.
Tons of that. What percentage of salespeople do it?
Oh, you have to fight them tooth and nail, and then they lie to you.
You want to know why? Not part of their natural behavior. Right. Their natural behavior is to not be confrontational. The water's smooth. I want to be harmonious. I want people to like me. You don't care. You're a manager. You gut up. You get the result done. Task-driven, results-oriented. I ain't that way. I want everybody to like me.
So what do you do to make people like you? If you're a salesperson, and you've been in this game for a long time and you're burned out and you see this podcast and you think, okay, I know who some of these people are. I know who Rheda is. I know that guy works 5 days a week, but you know what? I'm sick of it. I've been at the same dealership for 5 years. I'm selling 12 to 15 cars. I'm working 6 days a week. I'm working bell to bell and I'm fried.
Yeah.
What would you say to that man or that woman?
Wake up. Congratulations. This perfect time. The thing is if you have a dream, if you have intentionality, there's 5 pillars of high achievers. And this is something I work with in my coaching program. 5 pillars of high achiever. First one is clarity. Who are you at your best? They're not being their best self. They're responsible for putting themselves in their best self. One of the things that makes the club so powerful is it's not informative. It's transformative. It's not adding information on top of information they all know. They get in there and they get to say, this is who I am at my best. And this is where I'm going and why. The intentionality. A coach's job is to ask the how questions, right?
Right.
Then we look at consistency. What are the first 3 steps of your day? When you start your day, Lisa, at the dealership, trust me, you didn't come in going, okay, so what should I do first?
No.
You didn't go, I've got this meeting. I'm just going to walk into the meeting. You go first. No, you came in and you did this and you did this and you did this. Salespeople need to have consistency. Every one of my high achievers knows their 3 steps and they own those 3 steps, and it ain't going to the sales meeting or checking in with the manager. It is to own their business. Consistency.
What are 3 good steps? What would be 3? Because from what I'm hearing, your people are going to come up with their own 3 steps.
They're all and they know it. Like
right, but if you were to have to coach me right now, and you'd say, Lisa, you can't come up with what would be the 3 things you would tell me if I'm a salesperson and I'm coming to work first thing in the morning?
Okay, so what would help you get your day started?
Coffee.
Okay, great. What next?
Oh, what else?
Coffee's a great one. It's not a first step.
Yeah.
First steps are productive.
Yes. So I would look at my calendar. This is what I do every morning. I do it before I go home, and when I'm done here, I look at what I've got going on for tomorrow morning, it's tomorrow, and then I look at it again first thing in the morning. I need to know what I'm up against for the day. Like what am I doing?
Right. And so you start your day and you go, what am I up against? Yep. These are the things. So as a salesman, Ali first comes in and he looks at the emails that he needs to respond to that I call rat killings or fires, right?
Right.
And then he looks at his CSI to make sure he's got no negative things going on, and he'll respond to those. And then he does his 3rd step, Gustavo, one of the things that he was told to do is go walk the lot. Everybody says, go walk the lot.
Yeah, because everything changed overnight.
Yeah, but why walk the lot? We tell people what to do, but we don't tell them the outcome they're looking for on the lot. So I came up with the thing is, you're a matchmaker. Your job is to find a date for Lisa. You have a whole list of people who are looking for dates, and you walk out on the lot, and all of a sudden you see the red Corvette. Lisa got a new date.
I love it.
And so you're matching your people that you love with the vehicles that are available.
As I say, that are on the lot, because for that man to sell 126 cars and only do 2 dealer trades is phenomenal.
And
it's world class.
Like Gustavo has to shift process now, because the things that you're responsible for doing selling 8 to 16 cars are different than when you're selling 20 and 25 cars. You got to look at your productivity. One of the things we tell salespeople is that you're measuring your engagements in 45 or hour in an hour increment. Takes 2 hours to do a deal. They're measured in minutes. My salespeople who are selling over 40, the salespeople are doing, most of them know they can break their deals down, their day down to 15 to 10-minute increments. So they know, Ali knows it takes anywhere from 17 to 22 minutes from hello to deliver. David knows that it's about 45 minutes, 43 minutes.
How do they do that? I have to stop you there. I mean, is it because they're so well prepared?
No.
Before the customer gets there?
No, most of them are still scatterbrained, flighty, unorganized, not detailed, can't read your handwriting people. What they are is they don't have to sell people on liking them, trusting them, and believing in them. And then the 8 steps that you've been told to do don't apply. There's 3 steps, and they apply. And there's differences in each salesperson. You don't have to do things the same way after a certain point. And if you are, you're killing your productivity. You want me to be organized. You're crazy. I got Anna Louise. I got Ray. My daughter's my organization. She thinks for me. She tells me if I rented a car or I got a driver because I don't remember. Salespeople are caring about the relationship, the people. That's why they lose their notebook. That's why they can't find the damn keys. Not because we're not professional or not competent or don't care. We don't put it first. We put people first. Ask for referrals. Ask for referrals. We don't do it because it's not who we are. We don't feel like we've made enough emotional deposits to earn the right to beg from a stranger. You look at salesmen. They don't ask manage. They don't ask for help. They don't call their parents when they need help.
No, you're right. I mean, you've absolutely nailed it from the standpoint of, we would go through and, I'd say, okay, at the end of a sale, like, we had a sheet, and it was for 3 referrals. And, and then they'd have to make a copy, put one in the deal sheet, and then, they would keep one. And they were empty all the time. And I said, they loved you. They loved us. Why didn't you ask for, oh, well, I did ask, but, they don't know anybody who wants to buy a car. I'm like, I don't believe that.
Give me the 10 names for the cold calls, Lisa. Watch this. Not available, wrong number, can't reach them, bought elsewhere. And then I go to the manager. Like
the CRM of a lazy salesperson, right?
and then I would go to you, I said, you want me to call customers? You got to quit giving me shitty-ass customers. These people suck. I'm out. And none of the other salespeople do the work, and you compliment me in the sales meeting.
It's unbelievable. So have you ever thought about wanting, Damian, to have your own dealership? Has that ever been a consideration?
No, absolutely never. Never, ever, not. I'm out. You couldn't give me one. I would die. It would be the worst thing in the world because it's not my skill set. Salespeople got to learn to stay in their lane. Quit trying to be a manager. I sucked at management. I want to be, I never forget. I wanted to be an F&I. Please put me in F&I. I'm selling a lot of cars. He going to be good at F&I. Do you mean I got to get that same line signed every deal? Where's the driver's license? I know it was in there. I promise I got
I swear it was.
I always get the driver's license.
Now, see, I loved selling, and I did F&I for like 10 years, and I was a good finance manager. But, I was a director, but that was back in the day where, I got to take a pile of deals over to GMAC and sit down with somebody and actually get a human being to look at the deal and to buy them. This world of artificial intelligence, forget about it.
Yeah.
It's a monkey's game.
This is a gold mine. This is a gold mine, and dealers are making the gold, and salespeople are starving. They're dying, and they don't make it. And dealers don't have to see it because they get in theirs.
So, okay, I like that you said that. And whose fault is it? Is it
nobody's fault? It just is. It just is. And we have to accept that as is. The only way dealers are going to need to do something is there are dealers who care.
Yes, I agree
tremendously about what I'm saying right now. And there's some dealers going I'll use Chris. When he saw these numbers,
Charles Montoya to everybody.
Chris Martinez, beautiful human being. There, I just did this private one in San Antonio. That dealer, when I told him those numbers and I put that in perspective, he went, "Oh my God, I don't mean to do that." And I know they don't mean to, but they don't have to because they're profitable. Salespeople have got to be successful, and I'm going to use this word caringly, in spite of whatever managers have been taught and whatever our industry has indoctrinated people to believe. The road to the sale. Nobody remembers it, but we've been teaching it since the 60s. It's the 10 Commandments. It's the 12-step program of glory. And if you just remember these and memorize these here steps, the customer's going to lay down. But I forgot the demo. But people aren't waking up and saying, nobody's looking at it from our perspective because nobody has to, because the dealers throw me stupid money to teach them transactional. I don't need to teach. I don't need to be in transactional.
So, okay,
we got everybody in the world teaching transactional, and they're good. They're good at it. Let them teach phone.
Okay, so Damian, when did you get, because dealers pay me stupid money to walk in for a day. Because they think, okay, kind of check it off the list or whatever. When did you make the decision that you were going to be of this high integrity, that you were not going to train for transactional, that you were going to use your system, the systems that have made people like Ali so successful? When did
Recently, in the last year and a half, maybe I started pushing back, and when dealers
I was a car dealer and you said to me, I'm going to teach your people how to love people.
And you said, come into my store and teach my salespeople, I would tell you that that's an event sale, and it's not going to stick, and it's not going to stay, and your managers are going to poo-poo it within the first 4 weeks I'm gone, and then 70% are going to leave, and until you have a commitment that when you hire somebody, I guarantee their success.
Wow.
Then I come see you.
So
but I don't have to do that.
How do dealers feel about you? Because you're saying, well, I'm going to teach them how to sell more cars. I'm going to teach them how to love people. I'm going to start, they're going to start working towards 6 weeks a year off. Oh, by the way, they're only going to work 5 days a week. Are these dealers going, get out of here?
No, I don't know what they say, and I don't talk to dealers. I mean, I've got a lot of dealer friends. I have some dealers that I'll work with, and I don't know most dealers because I'm a salesman. I don't speak the dealer language. Right. I don't relate in their mindset of the way they think. I mean, I have dear friends that are dealers that I've known forever. And when we talk, it's like two TVs talking. It's like nobody. It's like, are y'all even on the same plan? I know y'all excited because y'all both raising your voices, but you can't hear each other.
Right.
I have to know my audience. And my audience, Lisa, is the new kid who wants to feed their family, who's like me, 2 kids, behind on their rent, do whatever it takes, hungry.
So this is a mission for you, Damian, and I know that from one of our other conversations.
To live a life of their dreams.
I'm a wealthy man. This is a mission for you.
Yeah, for salespeople to build and live the life of their dreams, which is so possible for so many more. And it's not going to be possible if 7 years in the business, they're going, I hate this shit.
Right. And many of them are. Well,
they have to, because the crux of the business is to wait on dealer-driven opportunities. And then the carrot they throw us, how to get a donkey to move, to go? You don't slap him on the butt. That's work. What you do is you put a carrot. You put a stick on his back, and you put a carrot. And you go, all right. And the donkey goes, and they chase the carrot until they say, I ain't never going to get the carrot.
All right. So, Damian, as we wrap this up, how can salespeople, because we're going to put this out to everybody.
Let's stay forever.
I know. I'd stay forever because you're somebody who actually motivates me, and that doesn't happen very often. How do salespeople join your club?
Oh, they should see what I'm about first. They should see what I'm about first. So the first thing they should do is free download this book. It's howtosell100cars.com. And if my daughter is on the call, she'll put it in there right now. Good. The next one is, I have 31, I don't know if it's 31. It might be more, it might be less, something like that. I just shoot the videos. And so what they are is they're for new people, newer people, struggling people, anybody really. And it's called autosuccessblueprint.com. And it says, yes, here's the dealer's business plan. Honor their plan, follow their plan, do what they tell you to do. And
I'm taking notes, friend.
Here's the things you need to take care of. And part of the videos is funny, Lisa, because what I say to salespeople after they've been through the first 20 or so videos, they have to unlock them, right? They have to watch this one to get to this one because it's a building block, right? But the last ones are, the first folder is this. All right, salespeople, here's what you need. Okay, here's how you get product knowledge, right? Don't listen to the videos yet. They're crazy. Customers don't care about 34.6 inches in the trunk. They don't give a shit. Here's what you want for product knowledge, okay? And here's how you're going to want to know when you start to feel insecure, how to reach inside yourself and pull out the monster you're going to need that day. Because there's going to be time when this business is not for the meek or the weak or it's tough. It's tough. And so I go through some simple things of, okay, this is going to help you. It's like I'm talking to my little brother, right? And I'm saying, bro, big brother got you. You go play, you come back if you need me. Then the second folder is, all right, salesman, here's what managers think they want.
Right.
So when you go to the desk, here's what you tell them, okay? And here's what they want. And then they're not going to give you grief. So just bring this to the desk.
Look at you giving all the little secret sauce stuff to all the newbies. Right. And so I give them 4 or 5 videos about what managers want, what managers think like. I talk about, now look, there's times when managers are going to appear like they're yelling and angry. They not. They just suck at talking. Listen what they're doing, okay? They talking with one note at a very high volume. Listen to them the first time they do it and think about if they only add some melody, up and down melody, then they wouldn't sound that way. And then you think, man, they need to learn to talk. But that's why they're in management, because they suck at talking. Oh, that is awesome. Well, I'm going to post that up there. I know you and I've talked about it, but I sit on the board of the Women in Automotive, which is just my heart. And there are so many women out there right now, and they're struggling. They're struggling to make it in a man's world. And they're struggling because, especially women salespeople, because when they get to the sales floor, there's maybe no other women, maybe only 1 or 2 other women. And so, what kind of advice would you give for the women out there that are out there and they're trying to make it in the sales game?
Be yourself, be feminine, be vulnerable, be present. You get to this hierarchical way of doing business, and that's not what it should be. Partner with other women. Have your little workout group, or your little margarita group that you say, oh my God, you never guess what my manager said. He's crazy. This is not how life works. Because in the feminine energy world, we want to be nurturing and caring and thoughtful.
That's why I think women are some of the best salespeople in the world. At least the ones I had, the top people I had were women most of the time.
Yeah, the way we do business inhibits community.
Yes.
And the only way you get good is community. And there's nobody better than women in community. And we're like, but it's safer for them to go to Iran and kill people than be a car salesperson.
So do you, in your sales club, do you work with the salespeople on, or part of your coaching program is how to work with women customers? Because, women are gatherers, right? It takes us longer to get to it than it does guys.
No, if I was going to, because it's all relationship driven. So they already know the women. And I tell salesmen, you want to get good at helping women? Read Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. It is the greatest sales book in the history of the world. And it probably will help you with your daughter. It'll also help you with your significant other.
And you'll sell a few cars along the way. What a deal.
you know, you learn things like when the customer's talking, shut up and let her express her feelings because she knows it all. Don't fix her ass. You can't fix her feelings. Let her get her feelings out and be who she is, and the customer will tell you everything without you putting a word. Women don't, unless they don't have a sword out and said, all right, I come to buy a car, unless they bought a car before and they just tired of the shit. What they want is they want somebody who's going to be there, and there's no risk. There's no risk. I can come in, I can leave. I can be your friend, I cannot be your friend. You can be present. And guys, don't look at her body. Look in her eyes. Be present. Stop objectifying. And women, get in this business. We need you so bad.
We do need women. You need to come to our Women in Automotive conference. I bet you we would get a bunch of new people for your club.
Yeah.
Okay, so the two websites again. I want to make sure everybody's got them, but we will post them. HowToSell100Cars.com.
HowToSell100Cars.com.
And the other one is, I don't have my glasses on, but I wrote it down.
AutoSuccessBlueprint.com.
AutoSuccessBlueprint.com. And then is there a Facebook page they can join, or do they have to be part of the club? Is it a private club?
They have to be part of the club to be part of the 100 Car Club Facebook page.
Okay.
But they don't have to be part of Auto Training Academy Facebook page, which is my business. Auto Training Academy is the name of my business.
Okay. Ali, and of course, you know, they could follow Ali. Who are some of your other superstars? It just seems like he's sucking up all the love today.
No, there's salespeople like one in Buffalo who sells 85, 90 cars a month. Dang. There's probably 3 salespeople who are going to break Joe Girard's record in the next 2 to 3 years, and they're going to fall. There's some salespeople who are just at 35, 40 cars.
But that's a great living.
Year off and live life. And, you know, I have salespeople who have lived their life in the car business, built their business like this, built a legacy-based business, and passed it on to their son-in-law or their children. You know, and normally the numbers drop off, but the children, you know, will sell 25, 30 cars a month. And it's all daddy or papa's customers, you know, because they built a relationship type business where everybody knew the papa, right? Do
you have any events coming up that people could attend?
Yeah, the next one is in Cleveland in June, and we'll post it on there. And there's another one in Shreveport in June. And normally Bob Moore is the best promoter in the history of the car business. He promoted Jackie Cooper back when
I remember Jackie Cooper. In fact, I mean, I can remember going to Jackie Cooper events and thinking, wow, this guy's really cool.
Well, Bob Moore and his promoters would come into the store and sell the tickets. Remember that?
Yes.
And then after that, Bob started working with Grant.
Yes.
And he worked with Grant for years, probably 14 years. And then he did a couple of other people. And then about 8, 9 years ago, he came to my seminar in Houston. And I said, you know, I just asked him, just do one. Help me, teach me how to do this thing. Because I just wanted to teach. And I said, how was it? And he goes, I've never seen people come out of a seminar like that. I said, is that a good thing or a bad thing? He said, I don't know. Let's go. And then he left, and I was going to Dallas to do a seminar, and he has Vandergrift Chevrolet has, you know, all these dealers who love him, you know, and he went there and he invited them to come, and he says, just watch this guy and you tell me if he can make this work. And so I did the Dallas seminar, and Bob said, you're my next, you know, you're the person I'm gonna promote next, which has been, I wouldn't have met Ali.
That sounds amazing. I mean, absolutely. Now, is there a website everybody can go to see all these seminars, or a place that they can buy tickets online or reserve?
No, we don't. They don't promote them online at all. They could go to Auto Training Academy and they can inquire, and Bob will get in touch with them. But we pretty much just promote the seminar locally. It's just a 4.5-hour seminar. So people flying in to see the seminar and then flying out, it's really not. You'll get more content online, just on YouTube, right?
Yeah, well, but there's something to seeing you live. I know that my friend Chris Martinez drove, you know, from Austin to San Antonio to go see.
Yeah, he's a wonderful human.
Well, I am so glad that we finally got to connect. I got to have you on the show. I'm so grateful for all of your knowledge and your wisdom, but more importantly, just for your heart for the salespeople, because, you know, I've always said without the salespeople, we're dead in this business, right? They're the ones out in the cold and the hot, and they're the ones keeping the wheels on the bus. And it's people like you that keep them encouraged and, you know, keep them learning and keep them making more money and getting better. So to every salesperson out there, I have the greatest and highest respect for you, since I started out as a car salesman, and I'm proud to say it. And heck, if I ever had to do something ever again, that would be the quickest thing I would jump into, is I would just go sell cars.
Yeah.
I loved selling cars. I would sell Fiats on Saturdays. I tell myself, get out of the way. I got this. I'm going to go sell this car.
Linda,
Greatest
Lisa,
profession